Alright, so let's start with our very first own pattern. I'll quickly go through the options here in the pattern editor, and then we'll do a parquet floor. So we have different creation methods. One is the rectangle. You can just click and drag a rectangular shape of any size and it creates this shape. We have a shape type, which is a free shape that I can create by left clicking the corner points, and if I want to close it, I'll just hit the first created button, the first created vertex. Or I can also, if I create one, close the shape with the right mouse button. So no matter where I am, if I close it with the right mouse button, it closes the shape here. Selecting a shape, you can move it. You can zoom in and out in the pattern editor, so in case you want to create very small shapes or very detailed ones. And you can adjust these shapes by rotation, left mouse button or middle mouse wheel, scale, middle mouse button, or dragging just a corner vertex, a handle. You can clone the shapes, you can mirror them, and you can smooth shapes. You can further edit shapes by vertex in the edit mode, or you can delete vertices with the right mouse button, or you can delete shapes with the right mouse button. You can also multi-select shapes with the control. If you hold the control button, and then you can rotate these together, and if you hold shift alt, you can rotate together, and if you just rotate them like this, they are rotated individually around the middle pivot. And yeah, those are the basic functions. So I'll clear the pattern and let's create a pattern wood parquet floor. For this, I'll just load textures before I'm starting, and I'll go into detail more in this for the textures section, but right now let's just select wood parquet. I'll take the second one, select folder, and it automatically loads all of the textures which are in this folder and which have the corresponding names. Diffuse in this case into the diffuse channel, the bump maps into the bump, and if I would have more, they would be loaded into the other channels. The distribution is by random, and when I start to create patterns now or shapes now, they will be seen here. So I'll adjust the grid lines to 10 and I create rectangular shapes. First one, and you automatically see one bitmap being rendered into this shape. Since they are all the same, I'm just selecting this and clone the shape, and since I set up the correct pattern, the grid size, I can just hit clone. Furthermore, I move it here and then I do a rotation by 90 degree. Adjust the position, and then again I'll just hit clone, and there we go. So we have created this entire pattern, and I can save the entire preset like my first pattern, and it automatically also creates the thumbnail. And if I want to save the pattern itself, save pattern as patterns, my first floor. It also creates this floor pattern here. Now the thing is, if I adjust the tiling, the bitmaps are distributed among this pattern, not in the same way like a 3D software would do it, but randomly. And that's the point. That's the whole key why Omnitiles exists. If with non-repeating bitmaps, I can just increase the tiling, and then these bitmaps are randomized. So if I change the preview resolution in this case, and then I zoom in, you see that the resolution is still very high. And if I render out a bitmap at 8K resolution, the details are all kept. So let's do that. In this case I'm still at the demo version, but if I click Browse, select the output folder, my first floor, and select the output format, the diffuse and the bump map will be created. And here we go. If I open this one, it's 512 times 512, and there's a edge map and ID map and the shape ID color if you want to further adjust this in Photoshop. And yeah, this is the way it goes. So let's go on to the next tutorial.